All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's live. If you are joining, as always, just say hi in the comments. I would love to know who's joining me. And if you're watching the replay, just put hashtag replay. Um, okay, so I wanted to do today's live on cravings because I've been getting asked a lot lately about how people can get over them. I've had uh, a lot of DMs about it, a lot of people in my life asking me about it, and so I thought this would be good to talk about again. It's been a while, so I just thought it was a good subject for right now because it seems like what people are needing at the moment. So if if you're joining me or you're watching the replay or anything, and you deal with cravings on a regular basis, let me know. Just put yes in the chat if you are someone who is having issues with cravings, and you don't know what to do about them, or you're getting them on a regular basis and you'd like to know how you can overcome them. So let's talk about why you have cravings and what you can do about them. So I don't know if you know this, but we were actually designed to crave, to have cravings to keep us alive. Without a strong desire for food, our ancestors may not have had enough of a motivation to find foods often enough. And so, uh, in the hunter gatherer days, our ancestors instinctively knew to fill up on berries and honey when they came across it, because they didn't know when they would get their next, they wouldn't know when they'd find their next animal. So, this would help them put on some fat to survive until they made their next kill. And that's really where, like, cravings, like the history and it's in us. It's natural for us to crave sweet things, crave carbohydrates and things like that, because back in the hunter gatherer days, that's what kept us alive when we um didn't have an animal around, or when we were on the journey to finding an animal. And it may be days before we find one. It just depends on a lot of different things. So that's really what cravings were designed for us, to keep us alive, to keep us motivated, to keep finding food, right? So you know like I said, this would keep enough fat on us and give us enough calories to last us until we found, like, we were able to hunt down an animal or whatever. And so when we eat high carb foods, it releases serotonin, and that is our feel good hormone. Serotonin is one of our feel good hormones. And so when we eat high carb foods like that, it releases serotonin. And so not only are we designed to crave high carb foods, when we see or smell them, um, it also makes us feel good when we eat them. So, because our body releases that serotonin, it makes us feel good. Then we seek it out more, right? But when we see it and smell it, that automatically kind of gives us a craving for it. It's, just like in hunter gatherer days when they'd see, um, you know, like a bee's nest and they'd go get the honey out of it, or they would see a bush of berries, they would go, that would make them crave it, so they would want to eat it. Um, so anyways, that is kind of the history of cravings. And so, anyways, the problem now in our modern world, we see and smell them everywhere, right? We see and smell carbs, we see and smell sweets and goodies and things like that. They're everywhere. We can't get away from them. It's not like we just come across them every now and then, like our ancestors did. Now they are everywhere we turn, everywhere we go, right? So we just can't get away from them, and that's a problem. And so no, like, it's no wonder that we crave processed high carb foods, because we're designed to seek those out, to keep us alive, to motivate us, right? um, and the food companies are are very aware of this fact. They know this. And and so they know that the more that you eat processed food, the more you desire it. So they purposefully make their foods more delicious by adding higher amounts of sugar and salt to make them irresistible to us. They literally hire people to figure out the best formula for their foods, uh, to make them more desirable, more irresistible. So we will want to keep buying them. If they're and they do this by adding higher amounts of sugar and salt and things like that, things that are very palatable to us and we really like. So the more sugar they put in it, the more salt, the more fat, then uh, then the more we crave it, because we get that release of serotonin. Um, and so they know this, and that's their whole goal when they make foods. They don't try to make them uh healthy. They try to make them more craveable, more delicious. um so but so here's the good news. The good news is there are some ways that we can keep from craving these foods. So we don't go overboard and cause health issues, because we don't want that, right? We don't want to um, cause health issues by overeating these foods, right? That's why we don't want to crave them. That's why we want to get rid of our cravings, right? That's why everybody's trying to figure out how to overcome their cravings and not crave these foods, because we all know that if we go overboard on them, then we're, most likely going to have health issues from it. Um, so, uh, so anyways, I have 3 tips that I'm going to share with you that will help you to overcome your cravings, and your cravings for processed foods mainly. That's what we really need to overcome, right? Because it's not like we're overeating, you know, um, berries and lettuce and things like that. We're not overeating those foods. We're overeating the processed foods. So, so my 3 tips are going to help you do that. So the number one thing that I look at when someone tells me their cravings are out of control is I look at how much protein they're eating on a daily basis. And so if you have cravings for high carb, high sugar foods, your protein needs aren't being met. That's usually what I find 99% of the time, when I'm helping someone with their cravings. That is what it is. They're not eating enough essential nutrients, mainly protein, and that's making them uh, crave these high carb, high sugar foods. So, and like, once you start consistently eating the amount of protein that is right for you and right for your body and your needs, to function optimally, then you will have less cravings. Um, you're going to have less cravings. So, how much protein is right for you? That's always the next question, is how much protein do I need to be eating so that I won't have these cravings anymore? And I can't give you an exact amount because everyone is different. Everyone based on, your lifestyle, how active you are, how much muscle you have, how much weight you want to lose, um, your health conditions, your height and your weight. It's very individual how much people need. It can range very significantly. So, but I can give you kind of a minimum for everyone. So this is adults too. It's not children. So for adults, everyone needs to focus on getting at least 20 to 30 grams per meal at each meal. And preferably from a whole food source, because that's going to keep you more full, because your body recognizes um, proteins from a whole food source. Uh, you just do better with it. You are more satisfied with it than something with that's more processed. It may have protein, but it's more processed, and that's fine. Like, I use those things in a pinch, and I use them if I'm like, I didn't prepare anything, or I'm on the go and I just have to, I'm hungry and I have to grab something. But the majority of the time, I get my protein from a whole food. And that's like meats, eggs. You can even do like beans, nuts, tofu, any of that kind of stuff, anything with a good significant amount of protein in it. But you want to aim to get at least 20 to 30 grams per meal. Now, if you're a person that only eats one meal a day or two meals a day because you fast a lot, then you're going to have to eat more in that one meal. You're not going to be able to break it up because you only eat once or twice a day. So you've got to eat more protein in that one or two meals, right? So eating this amount of protein will keep you full and satisfied for hours. And when you're full and satisfied, then you are less likely to feel like you need to eat a snack. That's what when I started eating enough protein, because I didn't always eat enough protein. I had no idea. I used to follow what I learned in school, which was like get 65 grams of protein a day. And I realized for me, that wasn't nearly enough. And that's why I was having so many cravings and feeling like I needed to snack all the time in between meals and things. So once I started eating a good amount of protein at each of my meals, I didn't have those cravings to snack anymore. I don't hardly snack at all. And I find that for my clients, the people that I work with, the people that I do these blueprints for and things, I find that too. Once they know how much protein they need to be eating for their lifestyle, for their individual needs, and they start doing that for a while, then they don't crave as much either. They don't feel the need for a snack. Sometimes they don't even want the next meal that they're supposed to have because they're still full. So protein really does satiate us. It keeps us satisfied. It keeps us full, and we're not hungry all the time, and so we don't have to snack as much. So that is my number one tip. If you are having lots of cravings, like often, daily, weekly, look at how much protein you're eating. Count it up, count it up for each meal and make sure you are getting enough for your needs. So that's my first tip. All right, the second reason you may have cravings is you may not be eating enough healthy fats. That's another reason why a lot of people may have cravings. Just like protein, healthy fats help you feel full and satisfied. But the amount of fat you need is really determined, is a big determinant of your desire for more food. Um, so if you've been eating a low fat diet, like many of us did in the 80s and 90s, we thought that was the best way to eat, right? I did too. I thought low fat, if I don't eat fat, I won't get fat, right? So a lot of us thought that a low fat diet was best, and that's what was being promoted and told to us and everything. But if you've been eating a low fat diet for a while, you're going to feel hungry. So if you're on a low fat diet, if you're not meeting your fat needs, your fat requirement for your specific needs, then you're going to feel hungry because your body needs fats for many essential functions of the body, specifically for helping with vitamin absorption. And I just did a video on this that came out yesterday about why you have vitamin deficiencies. And this is one reason, because if you are not eating enough fat, if you are on a low fat diet or you just tend to eat low fat, then you're not going to be absorbing the fat soluble vitamins. These vitamins, A, D, E, and K, we need fat to be able to absorb them. So you might be getting all these vitamins because you're eating lots of fruits and vegetables, but if you're not eating enough fat to go with them, you're not going to absorb the vitamins like you would if you were eating more fat. So I'll put that video in the link. It should be in the group. It is in the group, but I will also post it in the comments once I'm done with this live video, and in case you missed it, because it is interesting. So anyways, that's the second reason why you have cravings, is you're not eating enough healthy fats. And you can get healthy fats from, I go over it in the video, but like your oils, like healthy oils like olive oil, coconut oil, and then you can also do like olives have fat in them, avocados, fatty fish like salmon. You also get fat from meat, which is good because then you get the protein and the fat. So it's like a 2-for-1, and then you're able to absorb your vitamins better. So that is the second reason why you may be having cravings, because you're not adding enough fat to your diet, like healthy fats. We want healthy fats, not the unhealthy fats, the processed fats in the processed foods and everything. Those are not the fats. Our body doesn't recognize those fats. So when we eat those, it actually just causes inflammation because our body doesn't know what to do with it, because it doesn't recognize these man-made factory, processed fats. So if you're getting all of your fats from these processed foods instead of whole foods, then you're just going to have more inflammation than someone who is getting their fats from whole foods, a healthy source. So I hope that makes sense to you. Okay. And the third common reason people have cravings is because they're thirsty. So this thirst can make our stomach growl just like hunger can. I know you guys I've talked about it before, so I know you've heard of it. And a lot of times we think that means we need a snack. Our stomach's growling. I ate 2 hours ago. My stomach's growling. I must need a snack. But actually, it may be thirst. It may be that you're just thirsty. Um, so always drink some water first when your stomach is growling, when you feel like, oh, I just ate a couple hours ago, but I feel hungry again. My stomach's growling. Try some water first, and then wait 10 or 15 minutes and see if that's what it was. See if it was that you were thirsty. And then if you're still hungry, then go ahead and eat a snack. Just try to eat a healthy snack, like a protein rich snack, something something that's more whole food based, and that's going to keep you satisfied for longer. So wait 10 or 15 minutes, and then if you still need a snack, have a healthy snack. And don't go all day without drinking water, because this will just make you feel hungrier. And I know people, I used to work with people, I worked in the medical field, so I worked around nurses and doctors and things, and they would not drink water like all day because they didn't really have time, which is sad. A lot of them just didn't think they had time to go use the restroom, or they didn't want to make time to go use the restroom. So they would just not drink water all day. So they didn't have to use the restroom. And that is terrible. That's so bad for your health. So don't do that. Drink your water, go to the restroom. That's a natural thing, and that's going to help you feel less hungry and, make you snack less when you are actually hydrated and not dehydrated. Okay, so I hope these tips gave you some insight into your cravings. And I would love to know your biggest takeaway from today. Like, which tip did you like the most, or what did you learn that you didn't know? Let me know. And if you're interested in diving deeper into cravings, I will leave my link to my course, Cravings to Confidence, in the comments as well, if you want to check that out and read about it, because it breaks it down for you, the exact steps to take to overcome your cravings for good and feel in control around the foods that you love. And here's the biggest thing with me, and what I teach. I don't teach you to like cut out your favorite foods for good. I teach you how to be in control of them, so you get to decide when you have them. They don't get to decide. If you want to stop eating sweets every day, or whatever the food is that you're craving every day that is not best for you, if you want to stop eating it, then, and you want to feel in control of it and you don't want to eat it every day, this course is what's going to help you do that. It's going to break things down for you in a simple way you can understand, and really get you to like overcome the craving. So then you can just have it when you feel like it, like once a week, once a month, whenever you want to, but you don't feel like you need it every day, or I have to have it, or I'm gonna whatever, I'm gonna go crazy if I don't have it every day. We want to be in control of that. We don't want our cravings controlling us. So this is what that course does. I will put it down below if you want to read more about it. And if you have any questions, guys, about the course, about anything I talked about cravings, about any of the tips, just put them in the comments, or feel free to leave me a direct message on Facebook, and I will be happy to help you and answer them as best as I can. So that is all I have for today. I appreciate you joining me, and I hope you have a great week. All right. Bye, guys.